Hello, you're welcome to my live today, the 3rd of April 2022. You're welcome. My name is I. Ephraim, and I'm an author. I've written 2 books, Succeeding in Your Career and Let's Talk About Money. Today we'll be discussing a very crucial topic, why you need money. There's a popular saying that goes, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. So I'm going to be discussing some tips and principles for reasons why you need money and what you should do with money. In this channel, I usually give career and money tips every fortnight. So the last fortnight we had a topic on career, and today we're having a topic on finance or money. Next fortnight we'll be having another session on career, but today we're going to focus on why you need money. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you find the session useful. First of all, I just want to give the 3 broad reasons for holding money. In financial accounting or finance generally, there are 3 main reasons for holding money. First is the common one, the transactionary reason. And the transactional reason can be your daily spending to get what you need. In the olden days, it used to be trade and barter, where people exchange goods for goods. But as human race evolved, people began to use money to exchange. What happened was, for you to exchange with barter, you need to look for someone that has what you need and is willing to accept what you have. But as things, it became really complicated because sometimes you're unable to find people that need what you have, even though they have what you need. So that process became very complicated. So humans devised this means of exchanging using money, and that has gone on for ages. So that's one of the reasons for holding money, for transactional reason, to buy your groceries, to buy your clothing, to buy a house, a car, things like that. So those are transactionary reason for holding money. The other reason is the precautionary reason. Precautionary reason is as a value of security, because tomorrow is not predictable. You need to have a sort of security to weather whatever situation that might come up tomorrow. So precautionary reason is very important, and that's why we encourage people to invest and save money. In that way, when this issue come up, they are able to meet their obligation. So encourage you to save and invest your money as you make them. The third reason for holding money is for speculative reason. Opportunities, they say, come but once, but again, you can prepare for the next opportunity. I don't think that opportunity come but once. There are opportunities that might come once, but there are opportunities that you can plan for that will reoccur again and again. And the best way to plan for opportunities are for speculative reason, which is one of the reasons for holding money. So there are investment opportunities that might come up that you are not prepared for, but when you have money saved, you can use the money for speculative reason. You can use it to trade stocks, for example, or buy shares, or things that can opportunities that might come up in the course of life that you would wish you had money for. So those are for speculative reasons that you can take advantage of. So those are the three main reasons for holding money, and that's the first part of um, the teaching for tonight. So I mentioned one for transactional reason, for precautionary reason, and three for speculative reason. Now I'm going to give some examples or what I think you can use money for and what money is good for. I know I've mentioned the three reasons for holding money, but what do you really need money for? What can money do for you? Some people chase money, and once they get, they want more. They always want more. So the truth is, money doesn't. There's no end to money. So you always want to have more as you keep making money. Just never enough. So, but if you don't have a plan, even when you get to the goal, you won't know if you have gotten there because you always want to go for more. There's nothing wrong with going for more, but in this series, I'm going to give 5 things that money can do for you. First, it gives you freedom. A lot of people do 9 to 5 because they need money to sustain their lives, to meet their basic needs of food, shelter, and clothing. So those are the physiological needs, and they keep working again and again just to meet that need. But if you understand the rule of money and how to make money, you can buy freedom from that life. I don't know if anyone really enjoys 9 to 5 except you own the company, because again, you always pay less than you are really worth. So to create value, you would want to accumulate as much money as you can so that you can buy your freedom. That's the essence. So people put all the years, maybe their younger years, to put into working 9 to 5 so that they can retire early and buy freedom. Most people don't get this freedom until later in life, and it's good to plan ahead. It gives you that leverage so that you can actually retire and buy yourself freedom. So money can buy you freedom. The second is money gives you options. This is very key. So if you have money, part of these reasons I gave for holding money, which is the speculative reason, is the option that money gives you. So with money, you can decide what you want to get. So you don't have to be tied to a particular brand if you want something different. There's some people that probably stuck with one direction of one particular item because of the limits they have with money. But if you have a lot of money, you can have different options. You can decide what you want to do. Some people can decide to just stop there at 9 to 5 and do something totally different. I work for charity, or just do something totally different that you really want to do. So those are options that money can create. The third reason is it creates financial security. Money creates financial security. Like I mentioned earlier, one of the reasons for holding money is to be able to, for precautionary reason, not because you need the money, but what the money can do for you in the future. So when you have money, you have this peace of mind that, oh, nothing in the future or nothing can happen that would sway you or take you back to the lowest state. No, but because money gives you that security that enables you to have that rest of or peace of mind. So that's the third reason why you need money. Fourth reason, money can create more life experiences. So you see a lot of people, they book their vacation because they just want to unwind. They are not just leaving their jobs because they are on leave. No, they take that type off and experience life. So they travel, some people travel like 2 times a year just to create experiences of life. And the lack of money would limit your options. Again, apart from that option, you can't really go to places. You can't go to expensive restaurant, not because you're flamboyant, but it's just having that experience. You me saying assurance. Yeah, that financial security gives you that assurance. Thank you for that. But yeah, so I'm talking about creating experiences. Money can give you that. Moving or taking experiencing that private jet life. It's something that people want to create, but if you don't have money, you probably not be able to experience it. Yeah. So that's another reason why you need money. Number five, money helps you give your family more and give back to the society. This is very key. You see that I think we talked about when we did a session on financial management for couples and young professionals. I mentioned that 40% or 70% of divorce cases are money issues. So that is very key. Once if you have money, you'll be able to take care of your family and also give back to the society. And that's the beauty of one of the beauty of holding money, because you feel empowered to be able to give back. Apart from your immediate family, you can give to extended family, you can give to friends. I thought you giving gives you a sort of satisfaction that you only experience when you give, and money gives you that power to do that. Okay, so with all the good points about money, why you should hold money, the reason for holding money, why you need more money, and all of that, there are other side effects for money obsession. So, why you might not have all the money you need and the urge to always want more. There's nothing wrong with that, but there are other effects that you should know why you are chasing or wanting to have more money. Obsession over money causes problems and ruins relationship, because some people want to make more money. They probably take extra shifts or they keep working from dawn to dusk and just keep working just to make sure they make extra money. If you don't take time off to do other important things of your life, you might just be ruining the relationship that you have built for years, or relationship that you could have built on. There are four, just mention this, there are four aspects of your life that are key and that needs building. I think I mentioned this earlier in one of my sessions. The first one is your physical life, which involves exercise, anything you can do for exercise. The second one is your mental life, which is your mind, how to grow your mind by reading books or listening to educative material and all of that. Then your emotional life, which is your feelings and how you treat people and all of that. Then the fourth one is your spiritual life. And all of this, you can't, whether you don't believe in God, that's a different thing, but you can't, because you don't believe, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So there's a spiritual life, there is a physical one, there's a mental one, and there's the emotional one. And one very important one is building relationship with people, and you need time to do that. So when you are so obsessed with money, you might ruin all of that relationship. Making the second point about the effect of money is making money can cause more stress. An example could be overtime working, like I mentioned before. You're doing a job because they promise you, most of the time will promise you times 1.5 or times 2 or even times 3. Some people take out those overtime just to work extra, some work on public holidays just to make sure they are getting this money. But again, you make a lot of this money and you get sick and you don't recover or the money that you made from those overtime are now spent on treating yourself. So that's another effect, the downside of um, being obsessed with money making. Now, the question I would like to ask you is, how much money is really enough? How much money is really enough? Is there an amount that is enough? That, oh, after you get this amount, you are satisfied. Now, I'm not making more money, I'm just satisfied. Ask yourself that. So the right answer to that is, there is no amount that is enough. Even the rich, the extremely rich, are still looking for, the richest man in the world today is still chasing more money. So ask yourself, what are you really looking for? There's a point you get to in your life where, even if it's $20,000 you're earning a year, so far you're able to meet your basic needs, you should be content. It takes time to understand this principle, but if you think about it, you understand. You cut your, people say cut your coat according to your size. Well, again, you can, if you don't have enough clothes for your size, you have to cut it according to the clothes you have. So don't be too obsessed with money, chasing money, because there's never enough of it. If you're able to make enough to meet your basic needs, and you are taking some time off to rest, have time for family and all of that, you're putting everything in perspective, you'll probably just be happy, because there is no end to the want of money, want for money. And number four, side effects of being obsessed with money: happiness fades after a certain amount. There is a level you will get to where additional increase in your salary, for example, doesn't necessarily create an additional happiness, and that's what the economists call a point of diminishing return. You probably earning, let's say, 50k dollars in a year, and they increase it to 70k. You're excited, whoa, and they pay you after 3 months. You don't feel that excitement because your taste has probably increased, your budget has increased, and you have now got all that 70k, and you want more. They increase it and increase it and increase it. You probably get to 300k per annum, and whether they increase it to 350, you're not just feeling that happiness anymore. Yeah, you have money, but you are not necessarily happier than where you were at 100k, for example, because even the tax system makes it difficult for you to have more, because the more you earn, most tax system in the world, the more you earn, the more taxes you pay. So happiness fades after a certain amount. Then another point that you could another effect of being too obsessed with money is negative vices. You see a lot of, especially young people, that start developing some negative traits because they have money. Maybe when they were struggling, if you like, they were contented and maybe friendlier, and when they got money, they started doing stuff that you didn't think they could do. So some people say, there's a saying that says your true character actually comes alive when you have money, and I think that is true to a very large extent. You start knowing the real you when money starts coming in, and some people are even shocked at the way they react, like, oh, is this really me, because they don't have so much now. They are cutting their coat according to their size. But when the money start coming in, they start developing all these vices that are negative, and you know them, you know these vices. Let me not dwell too much on them. Okay, so the last part of my teaching is focusing on other important things that can also give value. Money is important, and I mentioned it. It gives you freedom, it gives you options, gives you assurance, like Yemi said, financial security. It creates more life expectancy and experiences. Money helps you give back to your family and community. So money is very good, but there are other things that are as good as money. I mentioned earlier when I started that money creates is a means of exchange. Is a mix and exchange. So there are other means of exchange. It's not just money. Some people spend only money. Someone said some people are so poor, the only thing they have is money. Why that makes sense? There are things that you can also spend that are not necessarily money. So I'll just give 5 of them. One is relationship, and what I would term network. Network is something that you can spend, just like money, because you have built a good network. There are some monies that you don't need to spend. You can just get a referral instead. So those are things that you can also devote your time in. While you're pursuing money in quote, you should also try to build relationship and build a broad network of people. And when I talk about network, don't only focus on people that are up there, people that have made it. You need to also focus on the people that are around you, because you never know where people are going tomorrow, and that's why you should value everyone. So you build that network, you invest your time in building those networks, because you can spend from your network. You can get referred for a job, for example. You can get referred for a contract, and those are not money, those are relationships that you have built. And that is another important way of creating value, just like money. The other thing that you can spend apart from money is time, and I think this is the most valuable of them all, and which is why you get paid per hour, or you paid per day, or you get paid per week or per month. These are just a measure of time, and the more value you create, the more money you get. But all of this is a matter of time. So if you have time, you are as rich as someone that has money, because you can use your time to do anything you want that can create value that you can use to exchange apart from money. So if you have time, you are rich. And someone said if you have up to 30 years of your life, you are rich in billions of seconds. And that is really, really key. So you can do anything with time. This afternoon I was just thinking that there's no time, because sometimes I'm just jumping from one thing to another thing, and all things of value, of course, but like this one, I need to do this one too, and like where's the time? So, but some people have time, a lot of time that they can invest in whatever. It can be a time to invest in knowledge, for example. It can be time that you invest in learning a skill that can produce freedom that you need, that can produce money that you need for freedom, so which is verified. If you have time, someone said if you have time, you're rich as someone who has money. Yes. Well, again, let me not trivialize. Let's complete that quote to say that it's what you do with the time that determines if you are richer than someone that has money. Of course, time can buy money, but money can buy time, but you also need to use that time wisely to be able to spend time for money. I'm sure you get what I'm trying to say. The third one is knowledge and wisdom, which is also a matter of time. But if you have wisdom and you have knowledge of a particular topic or a field or something, you can spend that for value. So you don't necessarily need money if you have that knowledge, and people will probably pay you for having that knowledge or wisdom about a topic or something, or for adding value to them. So people will pay you for that. And again, this is tied to time. So you can develop knowledge and wisdom, and you trade that for value. Remember, we talked about trade by barter initially, where you exchange goods for goods. So if you have wisdom or knowledge of something, you can use that to exchange for what you need without necessarily spending money. Then the fourth thing I would like to talk about that is also important, if even if it's not important, that it's also important and probably more important than money is reputation. If you have a good reputation, you can use that to exchange for value, and this is very, very good. I try to create a reputation of what I do, and that's why I share testimonies of people I've worked with, for personal finance, also for career coach. You see that I'm creating a reputation, and that's something that can be exchanged for value. Um, the last point I would like to make is your belief, or if you prefer, your faith. Um, there is, whatever religion you are in, there is this space that comes with having faith in something or God that gives you value that even money cannot buy. You would understand, if you, whatever you believe in, it's something that you can trade for value. Remember, money is what you trade for value. And if you believe in God, for example, there is this value that you get through probably your inner peace, or probably hope, or probably a blessing that you believe in, that you can exchange for value. Um, so these are the five other important things of value that I wanted to share. So while you're chasing money, or when you're trying to accumulate more money, you should also invest your time in all of these other five things I've mentioned, which is relationship, building a good network, creating time for yourself. If you do 9 to 5, do your 9 to 5. If you need to spend an extra hour, don't spend that extra hours every day on your 9 to 5, so that you can create more time to do other things. So, time to acquire knowledge and wisdom, and also build a reputation that you can exchange, and also build your faith. So, those are the five things that I'm sharing. Just to do a recap, and before I do a recap, I see Grace mentioned, will this be on YouTube? Yes, this will be on YouTube. I'm currently not projecting on YouTube right now, but I'll project on YouTube after this. I'll probably just upload the video on YouTube. I'll just do a summary of what I've talked about today. I'm conscious of time to close by 6:30. I'm trying to make the sessions a little more shorter, so that you get value and get what you need, instead of keeping it for a whole 1 hour. So I'll do a summary of what we talked about. When I started, I said, if the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. And I talked about reason for holding money, transactional reason, precautionary reason, and speculative reason. And I also talked about money as a means to an end, where you can use money to get freedom, to get option, to get assurance, to create life experiences, and also to give to your family and the society at large. Then I talked about the obsession of money, things that money can cause, the other side effects of money. Money is not just good, or should I say, money is neutral, so it can be good and bad. So the other side effects of having or being obsessed about money is that it can ruin relationship, it can cause you stress. There's no enough money. You can't get enough money because you want more. So that's something that you should think about. Then the more money you make doesn't necessarily mean you are more happy. So additional money doesn't necessarily create happiness, because you get to the point of diminishing return. Then when you have money, you probably start developing negative biases that you probably didn't have when you didn't have money. So these are things that I've talked about. Then I talked about other things of value that's important as money. One is your network, which is your relationship. And I talked about building your relationship sideways and down and up. So a 360 degrees relationship building. Then I talked about time. I talked about wisdom and knowledge. I talked about reputation and your faith. So, if you have any question, feel free to ask. But why I like talking about money is because I've also written a book on money, which is Let's Talk About Money. And this book is a very good book. My target is for young people, young professionals that are just starting out in their career, people that want to reorganize their finances, how to start making budgets and making plans and getting the result of your labor. A lot of people say they make money, but they don't know how this money is disappeared before the month end. When you read this book, you understand how to properly manage your money, how to make a budget, how to spend within your means and all of that, and how to invest as well, and how to build your credit score and all of that. So Let's Talk About Money is a very good book that you can get. I also do one-on-one coaching for people that want to plan their personal finance, and also for couples, if you want to manage your family income and you don't know exactly how to go about it. These are very important things that a lot of people don't think about until it's too late. So when you have plans, you can plan for a year, for 5 years, for 10 years, for a lifetime. You know exactly what your plans are, and that's what I can help you with. So if you want to have a session with me, please just send me a message on my DM and I'll be available to attend to you. I also do CV and career counseling. So if you are struggling in your career or you want to change your career, you need someone to talk to, please reach out and we can have that sorted out for you. I do CV as well, CV review and LinkedIn optimization. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any of these things that I have mentioned. You can also check out my website for other things that might be of interest to you. You see it on the bio of my Instagram handle. If there are no questions tonight, I want to thank you again all for joining, and I hope to see you on the next edition in 2 weeks' time when I'll be discussing something on career. Thank you and have a good rest of the week. God bless you. Bye.